bass in the Vincent Black Shadow, among other things. Percussion. No, I don't really do that. I sing here and there.
This is not an old war story like they always do.
This record differs from the first in the fact that you can hear my instrument on it, which is good if you're me. I sing more on this album than I did on the last one, which is good if you like the sound of my voice. If not, it sucks to be you. I wrote more on this album, which I'm proud of. I feel a lot more a part of the band on this album, which I'm really proud of. And I think that this album sounds like a group that's experienced. I think everybody knew how to get their tone and sound, and that was cool to listen to for me. It didn't sound like something that'd been put together over a period of time. It sounded like a collection of songs. What was the question again? Playing bass, that was like the hardest session I think I've had to do, and I think I did permanent damage to the ligament in this finger. At first I thought it was this finger, but then I realized it was this finger. No, yeah, it was a tough session, because we really held a microscope to a lot of it, and there's no bass editing, which is something that, unfortunately, for the lay person, I'm not calling you a name by saying that, most bands don't do that. The guy plays it a couple times and then someone goes in and edits it, so you're pretty much listening to a computer play for you. That's not how we did things. We played all the parts, and we went through with a fine-tooth comb and made sure that it was just doing what it had to do. And I was proud of the fact that I had learned a lot about like frequency and bass tone, and was able to get more of what I wanted to do. And I'm proud of my playing. As far as my singing goes, I was glad to contribute another voice and sound to the record that just made another cool thing to listen to, of a bunch of cool things that are already there to listen to. My favorite song on the album to listen to is In a Row, because I like it. I think it's a catchy song, and I like the modal kind of things that are happening between the guitar and bass under the choruses. If you really listen, you'll hear the bass changing the root notes throughout it, which gives it a kind of a darker feel at times, and other times kind of revert back to more of a happier major tone. And I think it's neat because I don't hear a lot of that in popular music right now. Stuff is very building blocks. Everybody plays one note, then everyone plays another, and then one more, and that's pretty much the whole song until the bridge happens, and they add one more chord and they're done. So in a Row, there's a lot to listen to. It's not just one of those songs that you can listen to. I mean, you can listen to it once and like it, but you can probably listen to it a number more times and start to hear the different things happening.
With hope so fleeting, you let down your guard.
There's a lot of stuff that people did that I really like. I like Rob's guitar solo in Last Few Minutes. I think that's some of his best playing I've heard him do before. It's really clear, and it's just an original style of lead, which I really like. I think on the whole record, I think the drumming is really fierce and attacking, and a lot of the parts are well thought out, which I'm really proud to be a part of. And I think Cassie is getting a lot more of a sound she wants. She sounds much more like she is. There's a lot more of her personality in her voice on this record, I think. And in general, the whole thing just seems like there's a lot more confidence in what people are playing, and that to me is, for everybody, I think it's cool, and I hope that people that are checking it out can hear that. It's super important because that's really how rock and roll and music started. people had ideas that they wanted to get out, and there wasn't a lot of avenues to get them out, and there was a real entrepreneurial spirit of music, and you really heard that in the music, in old blues artists. There was really something they wanted to say and wanted to do, and there was even actively people trying to stop them from doing it at the time. People, in the '60s, it's the same sort of thing. There was an element of I suppose pioneered, especially by the Beatles, pushing rock and roll. There was a real feeling, and then all the kind of bands that came after, a real feeling of let's do something different and say something. And it's important now. It's important now because when rock and roll really became a business, that really got lost, I think, and it really turned into let's make money, and let's make songs that make money. And the spirit of the artist started getting kind of swallowed up by the whole thing. And because of artistic endeavors that require your own money, your own time, your own effort, your own blood, sweat, and tears, and not a lot of payback. A lot of the time, the only people doing it that'll be left will be the real artists that really care from the beginning about making something cool. And message to the fans. I think that if you're following bands that you care about, there's 3 things you have to do. Number 1, you have to understand that ripping the album is pretty much, in today's society, you vote with your dollars, and if you steal someone's album offline, all you're really doing, you're not really harming anyone, you're just voting for that band to disappear. Anyone going off on their own, and the whole industry, any band you pick, from big to small, if you want to vote for them to vanish, then steal their album. And if you're one of those people that have no means of getting their album other than ripping it, I can see how that may be, then find another way to support them by buying a shirt or showing up to the show, or otherwise forget it. And if you don't value, if you can't think of a tangible reason to value music, think of all the times that good times that you have that you associate with good music, how many good movies that you see where you associate with a great soundtrack, and think of the fact that a lot of time and man hours went into making that thing special. So if you're a music fan at all, which you should be if you're watching this, especially at this point, you should pay attention to the value being put on that art and support it. Vote with your dollars. Vote for me. I need a new tattoo.